All right, today is day 14, and the topic that I want to touch on is grief. You never know in life when it will be the last time that you see someone. And the topic came up this morning specifically because my boyfriend's coworker passed away. And it was a previous coworker, but he mentioned, he's like, I didn't even know he was sick. I didn't know that would be the last time I would see him. And it just made me think, again, of that concept, starting with the end in mind. That specific topic, starting with the end in mind, came from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that specific chapter in that book, it mentions writing down what you would want your obituary to say about you and living in accordance to what that type of person would live like. Now, back to the concept, my partner's coworker passed. It was just that reality of you never really know when it's going to be the last time for anything. My sunset tonight isn't promised. My next moments aren't promised. And there's just a lot of sadness that comes when the people you love get taken from you without even knowing it. We never know when the last time is for anything. And so how do you combat the idea of grief? Because I saw this Andrew Garfield quote where he was talking about grief, and the concept of what he was saying was grief is just unexpressed love, or that grief is just love that wasn't expressed. So the depth of grief that we have is equal to the depth of love that we have for people in our life. And all we could do in this moment today is choose to show up as the person that's willing to offer as much love as possible to those around us. Because the reality is, I don't know if I'll ever see the people I love again. I don't know. I don't ever want to live on the terms that... So living that way and knowing that and wanting to live in alignment with that literally looks like me choosing to show up in each relationship as the person that's going to be loving and graceful and kind and patient. To want to give my love in a way that it's like I never want to leave on a bad note. I want to do better, and so I could at least have that peace of mind that the grief that I have is all the love that I have shared. Not just unexpressed love, but all the expressed love. I only want to give love. And so when you start thinking about that and framing life in that regard, it makes it easier to release the judgments that we have. Because it's so easy to just judge other people's human experience and be like, oh, well, you should have done this, and why didn't you weren't thinking about me in this? It's like, oh, wait a second. This whole other human being is having their whole own experience with their own set of beliefs and limitation and ideologies. So if that's the case, how can I personally choose to show up for this person and love them through the moment in which that they're having unexpressed wounding? So if someone shows up in a sense of pain or frustration, that is wounding that a person is showing to you. And in that place, you could have empathy, but be the person, but not apathetic. Empathy is saying, hey, I understand. I could only imagine how it felt like today to hear that news that your coworker was gone and feeling like maybe you would see them another time. Empathy says, wow, I see you in your pain, opposed to, oh, I'm sorry that you're sad. I'm sad for you. The thing is, in life, for example, when someone gets sent into the OR stat because of a car accident, the surgeon is not going to be empathizing, is not going to be like, oh, I'm so sad for this person. He's going to be there to help that individual. That's his purpose in that moment. He cannot be stuck in his own emotional space while helping that person. He has to be the one that's moving them forward. I could articulate that better, so we'll continue on that another time. But it's more so the topic of, if you are hurting, fear not, because I am not. If you are hurting, fear not, because I am not. I am here to be present with you. That bleeds into intentionality. That bleeds into living a life where grief isn't just unexpressed love, but it's all the expressed love. That we could show up and express all of our love, no matter what. So it just got me thinking about how grateful I am that I live a good life, and there's so many people that I love, and it makes me want to not take the people I love for granted. And you never know how many more times you'll see the people closest to you. Even as I get older, I don't spend as much time with my friends, and as people get married and they have kids, it's much harder to get together with other people. But the people that we are surrounded with all the time, we also get to show up for them and love them in the way that they should be loved. And that's a way of also loving ourselves, because who doesn't? Why not try to be the best version of yourself today? Why not live within your heart so openly that you choose to love no matter what? Life is short, we never know. All you have is you at the end of the day, and all you have is this body and this voice. It's all you own is this body and voice, and how you choose to utilize your body and voice will be what you see in the world. So protecting your mind and opening your heart will lead you to a life of goodness. So that's my thought for today.